now 3 PM and we're live and I'm Bernia Pickle with Ernie Plum. News for Kids recently researched about horror films. Over to you, Ernie.
News for Kids. We've been doing primary research by watching a horror film. We've also been observing the mise-en-scène of a horror film because News for Kids are going to be making a horror film. Back to you, Bernie Pickle.
Our field reporter, Kermit has also been doing primary research. He has informed us on how his progress is, and he seems to be doing okay. He has also been interviewing young children about their favourite horror films, such as, what horror films do they like? Why do they like the horror films? What characters do they like to see in horror films? And many more. Over to you, Kermit.
Thanks, Bertie. Hi, I'm Kermit Green. I'm at South Totton College interviewing people about horror films and what they like about them. So come on.
Yeah.
Do you like horror films?
Yes.
What do you like about horror films?
Just the thrill.
You like the thrill. What characters do you like to see in horror films? Is there any specific to the old man, teenagers, anything that you like in horror films? Oh, okay. Any specific scenery, like a cave, a woods, an abandoned house?
Houses are good.
Houses are good. Your perfect horror film, what is that?
Something dark. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask you a few questions about...
No thanks.
Hi, can I ask you a few questions about horror films?
Oh no, definitely not.
Do you not like horror films then?
No, horrible things.
Why don't you like horror films?
Too scary.
Too scary. But if you, what would make a horror film watchable for you? Less blood, more romance,
more story.
Oh, okay.
Scenery.
Scenery is very important.
Beautiful scenery.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Very good, thank you.
Ah. Come on. So, do you not like horror films then?
Not really. Well, I like psychological horrors more than anything else.
Okay, that's
useful.
Like that door.
You get locked in.
You love Hannibal, like...
Lots of blood. Weapons, machetes mainly, knives.
What, like, three elements make a perfect horror film for you?
Never actually seeing the murderer, that sort of calm, when you see the villain finally, very calm, very composed.
What about music? Do you prefer like more silence, or you just maybe hear
a little orchestral in the background, something deep, something slow.
As two very professional, skilled film critics, can we ask you a few questions? Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, we'll start with this fella.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
What do you like horror films?
I love horror films.
What makes you love horror films so much?
Because I like feeling scared, and what I can do when watching a horror film is that I can experience all that terror without actually having to put myself in the real situation.
Okay, so is it the characters, is it the scenery, is it the mise-en-scène that you find really effective?
For me, it's always about the story. Story is king.
Okay, that's very interesting. Characters, is there any specific kind of characters that you idolise from horror films, or just as trends of people that you like to see in horror films?
Well, I've always loved Jack Nicholson's character as Jack Torrance from The Shining, because he was really crazy, really cool. And when I was a kid, I used to pretend that I was him and go around with a baseball bat and like scare people. In fact, I still keep a bat here, just in case. Whoa, Wendy, give me the bat! So I like that. I like werewolves and monsters as well. I love monsters. Yeah, I love monsters.
Okay.
But I suppose the character we all like is the character who is an ordinary guy who finds himself in an extraordinary situation.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Are you scared of horror films?
I'm scared of you right now.
Why is that? Is that because I'm a teenager and teenagers in horror films scare you?
You actually. Yes, that's exactly why actually, yeah, because it means you're going to be the first to be killed off, and if I'm hanging around you then I'm going to obviously be in danger as well.
Okay, so you would stay away from teenage slashers because you're scared of teenagers in normal life?
That absolutely sums up my feelings about horror films and teenage...
Back to you, Bert and Ernie.
We have done primary, secondary, qualitative and quantitative research.
Now, News for Kids is fully prepared to make their own horror film. Over and out.